Hey everyone, this is day 4, and unfortunately I've been out of Wi-Fi and out of memory in order to make these videos, so I'm having to backtrack a bit. But day 4 in Paris, we woke up and we went to the Palace of Versailles, which we had to go out further of the city. It was in Zone 4. We usually stay in Zone 1 and 2, but we had to go to Zone 4. And so we got on a 45-minute train ride out to Versailles, which is kind of like a subdivision of Paris. And that's where the big palace is. It's like full of gold, and it's just where the king like took everyone, or just like hung out, I guess. But yeah, we got there, and it was a great day. It was nice and sunny, and we were looking to figure out where the palace is, and we take a right, and we just look down this road, and this road just goes straight up to the palace, and you just see this ginormous palace with gold gates and all this stuff, and it's just a crazy sight to see just looking down and starting walking towards it. So it was really exciting to walk up to this giant palace where kings walked up to. Well, the bad news, we get to the Palace of Versailles and we go up to the ticket office, and there's a big sign that says, "We are closed on Mondays." And it was a Monday. So our luck, we drove 45 minutes on the train to go to a closed palace. And but it did get a little better. We were able to go in the gardens, which was really fun. And Travis and I kind of snuck into the palace a little bit. There was an open door, and we played the I don't know better tourist kind of routine, and we kind of went up there and was looking around. They were doing a lot of like renovations and stuff, so there was a lot of ladders and all that around, but it was kind of cool to just go in there without people knowing. So we kind of left there and walked around, took a lot of pictures. When we got to the gardens, it was a lot of hedges and statues around. But it wasn't until we went down this hill that we realized the gardens went on forever. There were so many acres of gardens, and it was giant bushes and statues and fountains of gold and cherubs and satyrs and all this stuff. And it was just so crazy to see that someone owned this much land where they just walked around. That was literally what they did. We walked around the gardens. There had some trees and stuff, but for the most part it was just kind of a lot of pathways. It was kind of like a maze. And we were probably in the gardens for a good 3.5 hours. So I can't even imagine how long we would have been there if we had seen the palace itself. So it was the palace, and then the gardens just stretched beyond that, and there was a canal so you could get rowboats, but Travis and I did not get the rowboats. We decided to hoof it a bit, and that was the same with the buses they had and the bicycles. We just decided to walk around and go around the canal, go through the garden, which took forever. But we did see the small palace of Marie Antoinette, which was also closed. And then we saw another grander palace, not as big as Versailles, that was still on the grounds, that was also closed. But we did go into like this little like I don't know, these buildings, and we thought that it was kind of part of the palace, that we could get there, and kind of like it was someone's apartments, like on the grounds, which was a little weird because there was like a welcome mat, and I don't know. Travis and I did our little exploring again, and that's what we found. But we walked all around the palace, just honestly singing "Take a Bow" by Rihanna, and being American, so that was fun. It was just a great day to go to the palace, and I mean, we wish we could have seen inside, but those gardens were crazy awesome, so it was good to check those out. We did go to a restaurant where no one spoke English, and we couldn't read the menu, so that was kind of exciting to just go for it and just kind of pick something that sounded good. We ended up getting paninis. I got a ham one, and he got a bacon one, so that was pretty cool, and it was turned out well. We did not order water because they charge water here, which is crazy to me, but what are you gonna do? Good thing we had our water bottles. We did get kind of lost in Versailles a little bit trying to get back to the train station, but we ended up finding our way, and hung in a McDonald's because that's where the Wi-Fi is, and we were able to communicate a little bit. But we got back on the train and headed back home, and let's see, what did we do? Oh, we went to Moulin Rouge, and then we checked that out when we got in. So we followed around, and we got to the Moulin Rouge. Not as extravagant as the movie. Cole Kidman let me down there a little bit, but got some pictures and took some pictures, and was like, okay, time to go home. That was all pretty much what we wanted to do, is just see it. And we went back and took a little power nap before Daniel took us to something called the Spectacle, I think is how he pronounced it, and it was the coolest thing that I'd seen since I've gotten here. And it was at this palace, or at this building. I'm not quite sure what it's used for, but there was a hologram all over the building, and it made it like shine in gold at night. So that was really cool, and we went into it, and we had to get this audio thing so that we can understand it in English, because it was all in French. But we are in this courtyard, and we're not allowed to take pictures, or I would have uploaded those, but excuse me. We're standing there in this courtyard, and we're looking at this gate in front of us, and there's a hologram. There's holograms all around in this courtyard, and they're telling the story of how France came to be, and like the wars that they went through, and what the building that we were in went through. And that was so cool to watch. We saw like so many cool effects, so many like people, and it was just like all 3D, and it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And it was just holograms. That was it. We're just pretty much watching a movie on this building. So that is something, if you ever come to France, I would definitely check out. And it was pretty cheap. It was only like €9, and Daniel paid for it. So that was really sweet of him. And I definitely owe him for that. After the spectacle, he took us out to our bar for first Paris pint. Very expensive. It was €8-9 just for a pint. But it was so much fun to get to know Daniel a little bit and have him tell us jokes and stories, and we just kind of walked around. I may have had a little too much, but I only had 2-3 pints. Like, I did not have that much to drink, but it was really strong beer, and yeah, so I felt pretty good that night, and we didn't get into like 3 in the morning, and I felt bad for Daniel since he had to be up at like 8:30. But it was a good time. We were able to talk to him, and we saw this dog in the bar, and we wanted to pet them. The guy didn't want us to pet him, but the girl was really nice and let us hold the dog, and it was really cute. I just don't think he liked Americans, but oh well, the girl did, so we got to play with the puppy. But it was overall a really good day, and it was fun, and it was exhausting. I've probably lost like 10 pounds just walking around those gardens. But it was a lot of fun, and you should stay tuned to my next adventures in Paris. So, see you later.